Yeah, very good. Well, welcome everyone to our celebration of life for Marion del Corso. We have others coming in the door. And just so you might want to know, the restrooms are down the hall, straight down the hall. At the end is one, and the first right past the bookstore is another. So you know where the restrooms are. And then after our service, there is a lovely spread downstairs to come down and share some more memories and get together in the celebration hall downstairs. I'm Reverend Valerie Gunch, and I'd like to welcome those who are also online with us today, because we do have some people from out of state. And so welcome to our celebration service for Marion del Corso, a longtime member here at Unity and a friend to Unity. And I'm just going to begin by playing some native flute and then share a song, and then we'll start. Lay your burdens down, and I will make them light. Open up your heart and let my love inside. Everybody has an angel or two. I'm your angel, I'm your angel, I'm your angel, watching over you. Student of great change, finding peace in a world with pain. Find your solitude, inner strength in you. Give voice to the truth that lives inside of you. Lay your burdens down, and I will make them light. Open up your heart and let my love inside. Everybody has an angel or two. I'm your angel. I'm your angel. I'm your angel, watching over you. Set your fears aside and love with all your might. Be peaceful in your heart. Be who you are. Take refuge in my arms. I'll keep you from harm. Lay your burdens down, and I will make them light. Open up your heart and let my love inside. Everybody has an angel or two. I'm your angel. I'm your angel. I'm your angel, watching over you. Well, on behalf of the family and friends of Marion del Corso, I want to welcome you to Unity of Richmond. I'm Reverend Valerie Gunch, and today we're going to celebrate Marion's life. She's been with us at Unity of Richmond for some time, and you can see on the back of the program her husband, Julio, from one of our membership portraits where they had their portrait taken together. And I'd like to begin with an opening prayer. So let us pray. Loving Creator, we are gathered here today with our hearts united in remembrance and in hope. In this sacred moment, we honor the life and legacy of Marion del Corso, and we ask your presence to guide us as we celebrate her legacy. We may come from different paths, yet today we stand together, bound by the shared threads of love, loss, and a desire for healing. May this service remind us of our common humanity and the power of unity in times of sorrow. Comfort those who mourn, bringing them peace that surpasses understanding. Strengthen us as a community, that we may lift up one another and carry forward the light of Marion, whom we remember today. Fill this space with your grace and surround it by us with your love as we honor and reflect and move toward hope together. Bless this gathering with your presence, and may we leave here renewed and inspired and reminded of the enduring connection that unites us all. In the spirit of peace and love and unity we pray. Amen. You'll see on the right side of your program the 23rd Psalm, so we can say that together. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yes, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. So I'd like to call Royce Clater up to do a reading. It's called High Flight. And then we'll have a musical selection. So I'd like to say and let you know that these poems were selected by Marion. These were her favorites, and she requested that we read them and share them together today. And the next musical selection is a song that was composed and performed by her daughter Cheryl Trail. It's on a recording, and it's called Pillowcase Dreams.
Sleep, dreams are to chase.
bit more a little bit later. You're going to hear that there's music that runs in the family here. So I wanted to share a little bit about Marion and some information some may know and some may not know. And then we'll have some remembrances. But first I want to say that she was 91 years young. And lived in North Chesterfield. And she was born on January 1st, a New Year's baby. She was a retired Commonwealth of Virginia employee after many years. She is survived by her daughter Cheryl Trail, her granddaughter Courtney Shepard, and her grandsons Christopher Trail and Gregory Trail, and her 5 great-grandsons and 2 great-granddaughters, and her stepson Woody Del Corso. She was preceded in death by her husband, Giulio Del Corso, whose service was held here, and James E. Cook Sr. So I would like to share now some, in Cheryl's words, what she is the honoring of her mother. Marion Del Corso showed up for life on January 1st, New Year's Day. She was the first baby born that year. She was a wonderful lady who was loved by family and friends. This lady is my mom. Mom was the best mom ever. She was also a sister, mother, wife, grandma, and great-grandma. Mom grew up on a many-acred farm covered with gladiolas. Her father grew them commercially. She told me that she frequently helped her father with the flowers. Her father had other careers, such as singing opera on the radio and practicing chiropractic services. Her mother graduated from a conservatory. Mom also obtained a master's degree in counseling and education. She loved her cats. They were spoiled rotten, but that was okay by her. She just cherished her cats so much. There were pictures of cats on the walls, cups, dishes, towels, and clothes. And she had cat figurines on the shelves in quite a few places. Mom enjoyed yard work. She especially enjoyed her azaleas when they were in bloom. She liked to make a pretty landscape for the birds and the squirrels in her backyard, and she kept them happy with seeds and water in the bird bath. The impact Mom had on others has been immeasurable. It taught us to be open-minded, to learn and observe, to spread kindness, don't miss the moment, and be true to yourself. Mom has given us many wonderful memories of joy and passion which have been lifted up by her spirit. I'll miss your smile and laughter. I will miss you. Goodbye, Mom. You'll be missed greatly, and you'll never be forgotten. Now, I did want to say a little something, because when the song that I sang, "I'm Your Angel," I had, and the flute, I had gone to the house and played and sang, and I played "I'm Your Angel" for her, and so it opened up a conversation where she asked me what was my experience of angels, and I asked her what hers were, and we just had a really nice conversation. And one of the experiences she'd shared was hearing a guiding voice that spoke to her as she was driving downtown. I think it was on her way to work or on her way home from work. She wasn't feeling like she was having such a great day, but this voice said to her, you don't have to always think about, focus on yourself. So she was getting the message of thinking of others and letting that be her center of focus rather than whatever difficulties she was going through. And the day before she passed, I was over there at the house, and I played the song, and at the end of the song, she said, for first she asked me, were we on TV? And I said, no, we're not on TV. And then she said, well, there was applause when you stopped singing. And I said, well, then who was with us? So she had shared that she was ready, and I believe she spent some time with her family when she was ready, and everybody got together and spent time with her. And it was the most, I think, supportive. The support of, passing a person could have is just being in their home and being cared for and being with family around. And so that I wanted to share before we open up for some remembrances. And so our first person I'd like to call up is Woody Del Corso. If it's, you can just raise that up. There.
I want to thank everybody for being here today. Okay. So we became really close as 2020. I was finishing up a divorce and moving back, getting my mom situated during COVID, and I just remember going over to the house and just sitting and talking to Marion for hours at a time, and that just meant the world to me. No judgment, just listen, let me rant. And then everybody knows how mentally sharp she was. She'd occasionally hit me with that truth jab. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, you're 89. You're not supposed to think like this, Stop hitting me with the truth. But she would. And I grew to love her. She was a big help in that stage of my life. I think the biggest thing that I'm going to take away from her is after her passing, and just remember to just share life with people. Don't judge them. Just don't think that I learned so much from her and the love she showed me when the earlier years of my life. I'll be honest, I probably didn't deserve it. But she was there. She helped me out, and she'd always call me for laptop help. And I'd go over there and I would do it, and we got her on Facebook, and I didn't mind it. We'd go over and talk, and I could just had her as a sounding board, just that I could talk to, no judgment. In this day and age, I thought that was just extremely powerful. The day before she passed, I gave Cheryl, I said, you can go do what you need to for about 4 or 5 hours. I'll keep an eye on Marion. Marion slept about 2 or 3 hours. I was watching the end of the Formula One race. Then Marion woke up. We had a good long talk. We were able to sit there and just get some resolution on things, understand each other. I gave her a big hug, told her I loved her. She told me she loved me back. 10:30 next morning, Cheryl calls me with the bad news. Okay. It is what it is. It's not. That 4 or 5 hours with her, some of the most important hours of my life. I honestly mean that. I know it's a gold star answer to stand up here and say that in front of everybody. But we finally were able to share the feelings that we had for a long time. She helped me come through the divorce. I'd run up to Richmond, do stuff for my mom. She'd give me a place to stay. invited me to Christmas, Thanksgiving a couple times. So I just hope that y'all can remember the positive and the good stories about her and carry those, because she was really something special. I think we all know that. That's why y'all all here today. So I just want to thank y'all for showing up and sharing her with us, okay? Thank you.
Well, I knew Giulio before I knew Marion. He was a student of Theosophy, and we had a regular student Theosophy study group. And while I was visiting Marion, she would give me some of his books and his pamphlets, and we would talk about it. She said this wasn't really my path, but she was very curious about it. But I remember some very spirited discussions with Giulio, and to see how Theosophy was so tuned with all the New Thought Christianity that was coming in about the same time at the turn of the century, and how well it meshed with our unity studies. And Marion was very interested about that, but and told me to go get the box of books out of the closet that were his old Theosophy books, and we've got them in the library here. So if you ever want some of those. But then they got married, and that was wonderful, and it was a blending of family, and I got to see who Giulio had fallen for, this beautiful woman. She was just lovely, and I was so glad to have met her, and the love she had for this family. Many evenings I would pick up the grandchildren, and she lived very close to them, and after I delivered them to their families, and I'd go over and visit with Marion. And we'd have a cocktail and we'd visit and talk. Very, very diluted. Yes, just for the spirit of it. Pick her up some groceries at Aldi's or just little errands, and admire her blooming azaleas. Her azaleas bloomed long after everybody else's, which was always her garden touch. So sweet. And then began to visit her as she began to fade with the hospital visits and the rehab visits. Even took my grandson to visit her in the rehab center. And he was just so delighted. She was so welcoming to him. Shared her cookies. Got to know her even better as I was her prayer chaplain for years and years. And we would always, I just had set aside extra time so I could talk with Marion, and we would have deepened our friendship before the prayer time. And when prayer time came, it was almost never for herself, but it was for her family and her beloved daughter. Oh my goodness. I got to know her through Marion, and she absolutely adored her family and her grandchildren, and her prayers were definitely for all of you. So toward the end, she's asked, when we went into hospice, a lot of us took turns staying with her, which was a real blessing and a gift. And she would sleep a lot. When she'd wake up, then she'd feel energized for a little bit, and she'd want to talk, and we talked many, many things. And one day she asked me what are the signs of making a transition? And I said, do you want to know? I said, well, you may well be in it, and I think you know it as well. And she said, I don't fear death at all. She said, I actually welcome it. My body is no longer cooperating, and she was a very practical person, so it wasn't working well, and she said, I welcome it. I'm not afraid of death. And I do want to share something very precious. After she did pass, I was in a state, I took the news, but then for a moment I fell into a state of grief, and I was just washing dishes. And I was feeling very sad, and all of a sudden Marion just appeared for a second, and her eyes, bright green eyes, just looked at me, and she sparkled, and she said, "Don't be sad, I'm free. I'm free." And I was very much comforted by that. I wanted to share that with you.
I think I was a hog caller in another lifetime, but I'm not sure about this. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you. My name is Doris, and I'm a longtime friend of Marion's. When I met Marion, she wasn't married yet. And I also remember when Julio came here the first day. He wasn't married either. And I remember Marion always saying, "He looks so sad. He looks so sad. He looks so sad." I've heard that so many times. Well, she took care of that. Jumping forward. They dated for a while, and then they moved to Unity of Bonaire, and they got married there, and it was a lovely affair. I was delighted, however, when after a while they moved back home here. And they met here. We have all had a lot of good times here through the years. Julio was so well-versed, so knowledgeable in New Thought, and he taught a daytime book study, and I signed up for it, and I remember him bringing his brother. It was a good class. Since her passing, I have been racking my brain trying to figure out how long ago it was that we met and what the circumstances were. It seems like I remember getting to know her in Sunday school. I don't think I'm wrong. If I am and somebody knows it, let me know. It was Barry Jones teaching Science of Mind, and anyway, I remember when she and Julio started dating, and they sat up front. I've always sat in the back of the church, but after Julio passed, I moved up with her, and we sat there for quite a while until a man came, a new fella, but he wasn't new to Unity. It's like I came here in '95, but he started, that was Larry Blanchard, and Larry started here and sat with us. So we kind of became the Three Musketeers. And sometimes when things were over with, I ran to the bathroom. When I'd get back, they were just really talking and enjoying each other. Then I started to, then after she passed, I'm going to be losing place here. I started, remember when I started to write, when I put pen to paper, things started coming to me. And I remember the little lunch bunch, and it was some of us girls that would fix lunch each week for the others. And I remember the day that Marion had us all to her house for lunch. Well, Julio came home in the middle of the day, and it was so much fun having him come in, her big, tall, dark, and handsome husband come in and welcome us to their home. Some of the girls that were the lunch bunch at that time was, of course, Marion, Wanda Spivey. I know some of y'all that remember her, Claudette Fussell, and a lady named Jean. She was quite elderly, but she was tall and thin with jet black hair. I don't know if she used the bottle or what, but it sure was pretty. Anyway, she was the first of us to go. And it left, after a while, it left just Marion and I. And now it's just me. It seemed like for years I was the youngest one everywhere I went. Now I'm the oldest. Now that Marion is gone, I think she was the oldest member here. And she just passed. So I think that leaves me. Huh? Anyway, I'm deaf in one ear and can't hear at the other. After Julio passed, we started sitting together. We used to say that we wished we were neighbors. She was so easy to love. For quite a while, every Sunday, it was Marion, right there where Ronnie is. It was, huh? Oh, right behind Ronnie. Okay. And then me, and then Larry. And if one wasn't here, we saved a seat for the other. And then she couldn't get here anymore. And Larry got sick and was missing a lot of time. And some Sundays, it would just be me sitting there. And I didn't like that. I still don't. Larry called a couple nights ago and apologized for not being here today. But he took a really bad fall while in D.C. on a sidewalk, and he's hit a grate, and it was really dark, and somebody finally came around and rescued him. He's got 18 stitches across his forehead, and he broke his nose, and he said he just looks like he was mugged. Huh?
I gave him the live stream link. He may be watching.
He said, yeah, I talked to him, and he said that he hoped to be watching. And I think Edie Bolden is too. So they can actually see us, not just hear us. Okay. Hey, guys. Well, I told Larry when we were talking that, and I told him that I was writing a eulogy. He said, well, let me tell you my impression of her. And I said, well, can I write it down? He said, yes. He said, Larry said that he saw Marion as, why am I can't read my own writing. He was confident and S-T-A-T. Huh? What? And yet warm at the same time. I'm sorry, Larry. They just fell, he said, you just fall in love with the woman. Truer words were never spoken. Everybody talks about her sparkling eyes and her sweet personality. Every now and then she would say, "Are you sure you can't move here?" I said, "Well, I can't afford to give my kids the house, and I can't afford to buy one." Anyway, I just after Sunday used to see Marion Blanchard, but he called and apologized for not being here. After Marion took ill and I started going over to visit, it was such a pleasure to get to know her daughter, Cheryl, and to watch the love and affection the two women had for each other. There was also her granddaughter, and great-grandchildren, and Brian, the nephew, Brian. Huh? Yes, that's right. You're on Julio's side. Well, there's not many of Thal either. Julio's family has been very supportive. His son Woody lives just 3 blocks away. They lean on him, and they really appreciate him making himself available. I'm ending it now, kids. Believe it. I know this is not supposed to be a biography, but oh well. It's just my personality. I can't help it. When you love somebody and you start to write, things just gush out. And there were things I decided I wanted to share. God bless the families and each of you. I wanted to end with something really sweet, and what came up was Marion lived on a flower farm. How sweet can you get? Thank you.
So now we have opportunity for others to share that would like to share memories of Marion. Just come on up here, lift the microphone to your mouth height, and share your memories.
Higher than you. So the seating option over there, they were the Golden Girls, okay? And that included Larry. And the reason I know this is they were there in those seats. She was not lying. Each one had an assigned seat because we sang a lot, and we did the intro stuff on the singing, whatever. Anyway, and I could see them, so it was not. I always checked to see who was on the Golden Girls row, but that was them, and they were just like the most loved, just. It just came out of them. They were just so wonderful. Anyway, so my first encounter when I came to this church was to be a prayer chaplain. And, of course, I got Marion and, Brain. Julio, thank you. I always wanted to call him Julius. I don't know why. But every time I would call for the prayer time, she would always just say, "Please pray for my husband." And I was like, that's just so sweet. That's the only thing that she cared about at that time when he was sick. was please pray for my husband. So I just thought that was very sweet. And I was like, oh, this must be a really sweet lady. Now I was new here, so I didn't really know everybody. So time went on. Armin and I sang with a quartet group here like every other month or whatever. So everyone kind of got to know us. And she loved us. Okay. I think that other than you, she was our biggest fan. Yes. And Doris kept everybody together on the Golden Girls row. But yeah, she loved us. And so when Armin and I got married, she came to our wedding. And that was one of the last times, because I was like, why are you here? It's like 20 degrees outside. It was in January. And she was like, I wouldn't miss this. And I'm like, you are one strong lady. And then it was not too long after that, because she stopped coming to church. And, so that was I just always loved her. She just had that thing you're talking about, this love that just radiated out and just wrapped around you, right? And you guys, I just want to thank you for sharing her with us, because she was absolutely wonderful. And Julia was too. He was in the choir with me when I first came here, and so I got to hear his beautiful voice when he sang. So yeah, they were a lovely, lovely couple, and I'm just so grateful that she was part of my life, because for some reason when Armin and I got married, she just like she's like, I just love you guys so much. And I'm like, okay, well, this must be good. So I trust you, Marion. I trust you. And I was so happy that I was able to come out and spend time with her. I think I was with her 2 days before she passed. And we had a really good conversation. She told me, she goes, I'm just so tired of this. And I'm like, okay, uncross your arms. She goes, you're going to do Reiki on me? And I'm like, no, not right now. I'm going to talk to you. And I said, it's up to you what happens next. You can close your eyes and just put out your desire, what you want. It's between you and God. When you're going to be released from this body, and any suffering that you do now, you will go on. And that is between you and God, not between me and you. But just that is a private decision that's made when your time is. I don't think she had so much love in her. I don't think she could have ever run out of time. So she had to make the request to leave, And I know that she is just loved on where she is now, because she was one sweet lady that gave out a lot of love, and she's getting it all back. And I'm so happy for her, and happy for you guys that you had her in your life. Yeah, thank you.
You all. Can you hear me all right? I started to write down something. Then I thought, I'm just going to speak from my experience, from my heart. I got to know she and Julio through Unity, and for a good number of years. And I do carpentry work, as probably a lot of you know, and so I was in her home a lot. And when you're in somebody's home working, it's a close relationship. You begin to feel them, know them, respect and love them. And she was easy for me to be around, because she was a gentle soul. And I watched her struggle several times in physical ways, and be in the hospital and then bounce right back. And she loved her yard, so I got to see that she really loved her yard and nature. And she loved to pick up sticks in her yard. So I have this image of her in her yard doing her little thing, And I always felt like that was something that she carried within her that was part of her living, part of her life. And the final days, I got to sit by her bedside, and I knew that she was in a struggling position physically, but yet she was still present enough to converse with me and to share with me in a really loving way. We had fun with the cell phone. And so we got to taking pictures and doing selfies, and she always wanted to know a little something more. Can you show me how to do this? So in the final days that I was with and around her, we did a selfie. And I get goosebumps just telling you that that selfie showed her soul, her eyes, her love. I have that photo of her. I have that memory of her. Those loving, piercing, sharing, grounded, soulful expression from her eyes. That was her. And I cherish that. And I got to know Cheryl, granddaughter, and you all have been wonderful. I'm grateful that I could be a part of the family and be a friend to her. Thank you.
I got one Marion story, and I love Marion, so that's why I'm going to tell this story. Y'all remember that Toyota Corolla she had? When it finally broke, right? There's something about the automatic, the transmission housing. That's what broke. She couldn't get a replacement. Okay. Say, hey, Woody, I want to go car shopping. Do you mind coming with me? No problem, Marion. June, July, Sunday, 90 degrees. We're walking around dealership lot after dealership lot after dealership lot. She didn't like any of the cars she wanted. That's fine. Monday, I get a phone call. I'm at work. It's like, hey, I'm at the Kia dealership. Do you mind coming and picking me up, Woody? I just bought a car. What? Took the advice, went and did what she wanted. That was Marion to a T. God love her for it. That was the Kia. And I love that story about her because it says, like, go over here, over here. Nope, I'm going to go do what I want. That was just Marion. That's how strong-willed she could be. And went over there, walked her through whatever she needed to, gave her a ride home, whatever it was. And that was the day. I just remember getting a phone call. And like, you did what? Okay, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
I hadn't planned on doing this, but I have another story as well. I used to go over to Marion's to help her out, around the house some occasionally. And Marion wasn't just a good talker, she was a great listener. She had that gift of listening, and you knew that she was listening because she was asking questions about what you were doing. Well, one day we're talking, and she said to me, what's that Catholic prayer about, when you lose something? And I said, dear St. Anthony, please come down. Something is lost and can't be found. She says, I can't find the remote. So we prayed that. Well, a couple weeks later, I was over there helping her out. And she says to me, I've been losing things all day long. I've been talking to St. Anthony. I've been Catholic all day. Love that story. I miss Marion a lot. I'm going to miss talking to her. The kindness and her understanding and being such a good listener, which is a sign of love.
Last call for any others who would like to share.
Woody particularly, and you, and I don't know if we've met or not, but a couple other people. But I didn't know her through church. I knew her, I guess, through Julio. And he used to call me over to come help with the computer all the time when Woody wasn't helping him, which you did a lot. And she'd call me, after Julio passed, and I always felt awful because one time Julio told me that he had a problem with his computer and he went over to Best Buy or whatever it was. I don't know what it was then, but I thought that is just so horrible that somebody would have to pay somebody that much money for something, and I just could not go over there. And then whenever I started, the more I talked to Julia, the more I talked to Marion, the more I felt like, I really, really like, because I met Julia through my wife, and Marion as well. And we go to dinner and we do other things, and this is kind of rambling because I didn't prepare anything. But I really did love her. I thought she was a wonderful person, and really enjoyed talking to her. And the bit about counseling, I think, was what she had a degree in. Yeah, that's probably why she talked to me so much, trying to keep me out of trouble. But no, she was a wonderful listener. It was wonderful to talk to her, and I really, really, I'm very techie. But one of the things I really loved about it is that whenever we would talk about something with the computer, that she would learn how to do it, and that I've known some people that just their eyes glazed over, but she would really listen and she would learn, and I just love that about her. And she was really nice, and we talked about all sorts of stuff. I mean, she'd let me ramble on, which I am prone to do. But I don't know, it was just a privilege and an honor to know her, and to be able to help her. And I wanted to apologize for you for making you prepare the macaroni. For some reason, I'm scared of that kitchen. I did actually fix the clock in that kitchen. Always has problems, the radio and everything. And I'd go reset that, and the element in her stove burned out, and we got that replaced. But for some reason, just the idea of preparing food in that kitchen just scares me. So I apologize, but it was really nice to be able to sit there with her for a while you took some time off. And I don't know, it's just like, I really loved her, thought a lot of her. Everybody does seem to. And I think it's just sad, very sad that she's gone, but she still lives on. And she's part of us and has a family that goes on forward in time, and they'll all remember her, and you'll all hopefully will for a long time to come, and generations down the line. So anyway, I'll stop rambling, but I just wanted to say that it was really just wonderful to have known her and to have spent time with her, and to have met the people that I met through her. So bless you all.
I'd like to invite you to do something you may not have done often at memorial services, but we'd like everyone to stand, and we're going to give Marion a rousing standing ovation for a life well lived, 91 years young. So if you are able, so let us stand and let's just give her a hoot and a holler and clap and cheer. Done. Woo! Now Lynn is going to share one of her favorite poems, followed by another of Cheryl's beautiful compositions.
And this was a choice from Marion. It's a poem written by the state chaplain, Millie Casey, When I Am Gone. When I am gone, release me, let me go. I have so many things to see and do. You must not tie yourself to me with tears. Be happy that we had so many years. You can only guess how much you gave me in happiness. I thank you for the love you have shown. But now it's time I traveled on alone. So grieve a while for me, if grieve you must. It's only for a while that we must part. So bless the memories that lie within your heart. I won't be far away. for life goes on. So if you need me, call, and I will come. Though you can't see me or touch me, I'll be near. And if you listen with your heart, you'll hear all of my love around you, soft and clear. And then when you must come this way alone, I'll greet you with a smile. Welcome home.
Now, the next song by Cheryl is called Scrapbook.
A picture perfect for a scrapbook. Capture and save this special moment on a page. In my mind, your delicate hand holds my finger. Your tiny smile stills my heart on a page. In my mind, my tiny bundle wrapped snug and warm, held in my arms next to my heart on a page. In my mind, a mother's lullaby sings of a love so dear, special and true, always kept on a page. In her mind, I will keep this beautiful moment. All colors warm, sound so sweet. A picture perfect for a scrapbook, page after page. In my mind, page after page. In my mind.
That was Cheryl. She has a CD. If you it has CDs available, by the way. So there were original compositions that she wrote back in 2005, after the loss of her 3-month-old baby. Yeah. Now, what we have created here today is a living scrapbook of memories of Marion. And we have one more poem, a poem and then a closing. So I'd like to call Greg up to do that last poem. It's called Miss Me, Let Me Go. Oops, well. Uh-oh.
To say as well. He has to be next to me. My grandma was a pillar in our family for many reasons. Her love for us was one of the biggest ones. She loved you unconditionally. Sorry. She always reminded you either with a phone call, a text. Finally, when she figured out how to do that. A simple, that would be wonderful, after you mentioned, hey, I'd see you again soon. Even in immense pain, she would stand up to make sure she gave you a hug. Sorry. Her strength was another thing that I admired her for, through pain, bad days, time in peril when she was nervous about the road ahead, or even when you yourself were struggling in life. She would make sure that she shared her strength with you. That was through the love she always showed. I remember a few years ago when she found out she had cancer. She called me to chit-chat. I asked her grandma, I said, what are you going to do? She replied, I haven't the slightest clue yet. A week later, her answer was, I'll beat it. She was in her 80s when she was saying this. I thought she was a superhero, how she fought it, and it hurts knowing that it came back and took her. My family and I thought that she would live to another 90 years. One of my favorite things about her was she never judged you. She might ask a few questions or give you a look like, hey, you know better than that. But she would leave it alone after that. Being able to have conversations about life and who you are as a person with someone who really cares and doesn't judge you is hard to find in someone, especially nowadays. Gotta be a little acrobatic like this. Sorry. She would look at you, and you could really tell that she cared about you in the time that she shared with you. Her intelligence, creativity, thirst for knowledge, and connectivity with others inspired me. I always wanted to make my grandparents proud. Hey, you okay? Especially her. As the last Mohicans, we like to say, we as a family have the lessons in life we learned from her and her love to remember. Hey, you okay? I will try to continue to have a pure heart, mind open for things that are new, and an optimistic approach in life, even when it seems hard. Sorry. Thank you for everything you gave us in life. I hope to see you soon, even though you're staring at us now. I don't cry much, but having a hard time today. All right, so poem, Miss Me But Let Me Go. And left arm. All right. When I come to the end of the road, and the sun has set for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. I cry for a soul set free. Miss me a little, but not too long. Now with your head bowed low, remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. This is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all part of the master's plan. A step on the road to home when you're lonely and sick at heart. Go to the friends we know, and bear your sorrow and good deeds. Miss me, but let me go. Thank you.
The last poem is by James Dillett Freeman, one of Unity's poets whose poetry is on the moon. And it's called The Traveler, and then we'll be closing out. And she has put on invisibility. Dear Lord, I cannot see, but this I know, although the road ascends and passes from my sight, that there will be no night, that you will take her gently by the hand and lead her on along the road of life that never ends. And she will find it is not death but dawn. I do not doubt that you are there as here, and you will hold her dear. Our life did not begin with birth. It is not of the earth. And this that we call death, it is no more than an opening and a closing of a door. And in your house, how many rooms must be beyond this one where we rest momently? Dear Lord, I thank you for the faith that frees, the love that knows it cannot lose its own, the love that looking through the shadows sees that you and I are ever one. Now, as we close out, I wanted to let you know we're going to close with the prayer for protection by James Stillett Freeman. And we're going to say this to Marion, and then we're going to say it for ourselves. But we're going to say the light of God surrounds you first, and then we'll change to the light of God surrounds us. So on the right side of your program, together, the light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. And now the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So join us downstairs for some refreshments and some more sharing. And thank you all for being here, and thank you to those who have joined us online today. And bless you on your way and your travel back home.